that I'm supposed to wear, the pink one. And I had bought this dress recently.
But God had indirectly
directed me towards that is a budget. But no, last time Peter, I was not following the narrations. Thank you very much once again, my brother. You're the savior. And pink is my favorite color.
Oh, I think we all love it.
So today we'll be talking about sensorial. And how many of you are aware of the Montessori methodology, or who are doing the course from LMI or have done some sorts of courses previously? Please raise your hands. Montessori methodology? Is it right? Yes. So all the newcomers may raise your hands. So we'll start with a very simple statement. The word sensorial has come out of is sensorial impressions. And as we all know that we are blessed with how many senses? 5 senses. We are all blessed with 5 senses. And if these senses were not bestowed upon us, if Allah was not kind enough to bless us with all these senses, we would not have been able to develop a contact with the outer world. Our senses are the keys to the outer world. Most commonly known as, the most common definition that the Montessorians are aware of is that the senses are the keys to the world. They open the doors of the world to us. You will not be able to see the beauty of the world if the visual sense was not there. There are few animals which cannot discriminate among the colors. But as human beings, Allah has blessed us with the ability to differentiate, to discriminate, to classify the different colors and identify the different tones of one color. Like there are different shades of one color, pink. Alright? When you have bought a dress and you want to buy a pink color, particular pink color, and you've forgotten the sample at home, but you can make out from here that this was the shade I am looking for. Then you go for the shade and you buy it, and when you come back home, you are surprised that, oh, this was the shade I was looking for. It did not matter if I had forgotten it at home and I brought the color which I really required. So today we will be talking about all the material that belongs to the 5 senses. We will be talking about that material which is classified according to all the 5 senses. Let us talk about the 5 senses. Let's name the 5 senses: the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, and the sense of touch. Now the technical names. What is this called? Auditory sense, olfactory, gustatory, and tactile. Sense of visual. The visual, the auditory, the olfactory, the gustatory, and the tactile sense. Commonly we say sense of touch, sense of sight, but technically when you talk about, you say the olfactory sense, the gustatory sense, the auditory sense, so on and so forth. So you have to keep in mind, whatever the terminology I am repeating, you might get this in the test. So you have to keep it in mind. Okay? Sense of hearing is auditory. Sense of smell is olfactory. Sense of taste is gustatory. Sense of touch is tactile. Is that all? Not very difficult? Now, Maria Montessori actually discovered the child. And the definition of education changed when Dr. Maria Montessori brought forth the method of Montessori education. And Montessori education addresses the early childhood. That is from birth to 6 years, from 6 to 12 years, and 12 to 18 years. And now the work is in progress in 24 years. There are few countries like Japan and Germany, they are working beyond 12 years, that is till 18 and till 24. And in Germany only, the adult people are taken to the resource places where they are introduced to the EPL exercises. Why it is done? Because they are suffering from dementia. So now, with each passing day, we will realize that the Montessori has its importance with each passing day. The adult people, the elderly people are also taken to the resource places where they are exposed to the EPL exercises. Whatever you are doing in the Montessori environment, those exercises are given to the elderly people because this is helping them in recovering from their dementia, that forgetfulness, and it is keeping them busy as also. Because you know, when we get older, we are made to sit in a corner. We are useless people. So now those people are tackling this problem, then these exercises in an advanced forms are given to those people, so they keep themselves busy and they feel that they are useful people, and it is helping them cure their disabilities as well. Now when we talk about Dr. Maria Montessori, how she found out that these senses can help educate the children. As we all know, the Montessori people know that she referred to the works of Sigmund Freud and John Freud. Jean, Edward Sigmund, because this is not English, right? So we have a different pronunciation. Commonly it is called Jean Freud, Jean, right? Whereas it is called John Freud. So we commonly know it as Jean Freud, Jean, John Freud and Edward Sigmund. So these are the gentlemen who are working with the mentally challenged children, who are deficient, who are mentally challenged. So they had different sorts of material, and Dr. Maria Montessori, though she was not in that era, she came quite later. She referred to those materials and then she made some changes in that, and she thought that when mentally challenged children can work with the material so nicely and they can bring about such a great result, why not change these materials according to the normal children's mental capability, and let's see how does it work. So when she introduced that material to the normal children, she found out that the results were amazing. And then from there she got the confidence and the encouragement and the enthusiasm to work further on. And then she devised lots and lots of materials. So when we are talking about the sensorial material, we have to keep in mind that when the child is born, his mind or his brain is like a sponge. Like when you dip a sponge in the water, what does it do? It absorbs all the water in it. So when the child is born, physically he is complete. His limbs are complete. You can see a human being smaller in size which still has to grow. That is the physical embryo. Physically that child, that human being is complete. And when this child is brought into this world, we say it is a spiritual embryo. It's a spiritual embryo because mentally he has to develop. The child has not developed mentally, though it has developed physically, but the size of his body will keep on developing. Whereas he has to start from zero when we talk about his mental life. His mental life is zero. When he is exposed to the world and he has to live in this world and he has to make a contact with this world, so his senses start working. The moment the child is born, his senses start working. Which is the first sense that starts working earlier? Very good, auditory sense. It has started much earlier, before the child is born. But we say that the child's auditory sense starts functioning first. And then what happens when the child is hearing? The language development is going to take place. Alright? So which is the first time that starts developing first? The auditory, the hearing sense. And then tactile, yes. Actually, the movements that the child is making, his limbs are moving, these are involuntary movements. He is not moving his hands, his head or whatever, his body on his own, consciously. It is being done unconsciously because he does not have any control over his body movements. The control will be gained after a certain time. If you see a child moving his hands before he is 4 months, 2 months, those movements are not voluntary. The child's brain, it is developing at a greater speed till the child is 6 months old. 6 months till 12 months. The cerebellum is growing at a greater speed. So the auditory sense is there, and then the visual sense is there, and then the movement is there, and then the sense of taste is also there. Looking at this child, when I talked about the spiritual embryo, that the child is zero at his mental life, he is developing his mental life with all the sensations or the impressions that they are in the outer world, the temperature, the noise, the color, the smell, the sounds. These are the impressions that the child is taking in without any conscious effort, because his brain is in the which state? Unconscious state. He is absorbing all the impressions unconsciously, and he will keep absorbing all these impressions unconsciously till the child is 3 years old. That is 0 to 3 years.